Hello and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea. And last night at the Amex Stadium it was Brighton and Hove. Albion won, Chelsea won, and what a dismal performance that was from Chelsea. First of all, well done Brighton, well organised. Two of your best players missing, three of your best players. If you had Lallana, I know he's old but he's a decent player. Three of your best players missing. Yeah, sure, we had our wing backs missing, which is a big miss for us. But you were well organised, you stuck at it, could have actually won the game. But Chelsea, to be fair, you were absolutely shocking last night. Right from word go, lack of tempo, lack of positivity. Some players, lack of effort even. Lack of concentration. That goal, 7 players could have stopped that goal from happening if they'd been more aware. 7. Let that sink in. Zonal marking, yeah, but someone has to take responsibility and go with that guy. Someone has to take responsibility, someone has to block him, someone has to make sure there's competition for the ball in the air with Webster. Shocking. But it wasn't just a goal, it was all round general play. Now I don't know if you agree with me, maybe you won't, but I think something is definitely badly wrong in that dressing room. I don't know if it's Lukaku, I don't know if it's the interview, because don't forget they would have known about that 3 weeks before us. I don't know if he's fell out with people and the dressing rooms then took sides and split. Last night him and Ziyech, I don't know if they were arguing or if they were in cahoots. I don't know what they were saying behind the gloves. Yeah, that dressing room, I don't know if it's, as I say, Lukaku's interview or whether it's the contract negotiations. I mean, like Rudiger, someone said to me the other day, I'd give him £400,000, that's what he's asking. Someone else said, oh, he's only asking for 200,000. Really, do you think that? Do you think Chelsea would be stalling on a contract if he only wanted £200,000 a week? You've got Kante on 250, you've got Lukaku on 350. Dick Turpin, the highwayman, at least he wore a mask to nick his money. But there are other players in there on 80 grand a week, on 100 grand a week, on 120 grand a week. And if Rudiger goes in there, let's go halfway between 2 and 4, and he's asking for 300 grand a week. There's players in there that'd be quite entitled to knock on the door as well. Rudiger's been doing it for a year. Prior to that, under Lampard, he shut up shop when he was playing. And the reason he wasn't playing was because his concentration was lousy. And prior to that, he had some lousy performances under Sarri that everyone seems to have conveniently forgotten. But last year, he's been superb. One of the best defenders in the world. So I can see why his agent wants to get a best deal for him. If he wants to go somewhere else, fine. You shouldn't have players in your club that don't really want to be there. And if he's going to ask for £300,000 a week, it could cause turmoil in that dressing room if it's not already. Christensen, same thing. Don't want to put pen to paper. Could be causing unease in that dressing room. But it looks to me, I mean, for the first, say, 15-20 minutes, Lukaku was running into channels and no one was giving him the ball. And then he just packed in. He just packed in running into channels. He just stopped. To be fair to him, last night he managed to trap the ball twice. So our £100 million signing, well done, sir. I suppose that was your night's work done. Nice work if you can get it. There were a lot of dismal performances over that pitch last night, and as I say, I do wonder if some of them fell out with others of them. And I hope the club give Tuchel time to sort it out, whatever's wrong. Could just be they're just tired, but it doesn't look like it to me. I'll be interested to know what it looks like to you. Obviously they're tired. They played 6-7 games more than some teams. Burnley, I think we've played 7 games more than them in the last month and a half. Of course they're going to be tired. They're only human beings. I know they get paid an extortionate amount of money, but they are only human beings. But what I don't like to see is players who don't try, don't do their jobs. There's people last night, Chelsea fans, who finished their £8.95 an hour factory job, got on a train and went to Brighton to watch a load of highly paid stars not turn up. Yeah, forget the league, but if they carry on playing like that, forget the top 4. I think if Spurs win their games in hand, they go 5 points ahead of us. Not that I think they will, and yes, I think we will make the top 4. I don't think it's all negativity. I've not gone on Twitter this morning because I'm negative enough about last night's performance. I don't need people wanting Tuchel out, wanting Kante sold because he had a bad performance last night. You know, I'm negative myself, but I'm not. I don't want to compound it by looking at some of that shite. Yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Hitler had an opinion, but some of it anyway. I'm not going to go there. So yeah, last night was really poor. No tempo. Very, very lacking in positivity. If we could play a backward ball or a sideways ball, we would. Alonso last night sometimes had me shouting at the television when he got in a position where he could pass. Last night, you count them. I counted 11 times where he could have passed out on that wing, and he put it across 3 times. 3 times. Didn't clear their first player once, and the other 2 times he did. And Brighton defended well, but it could have gone anywhere. Didn't do enough of that. Anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on it. We've got the Spuds on Sunday, and we need to be up for that. So do you know what? Because it was so poor, I'm just gonna go through the players' scores, if that's okay with you lot today. So Kepa gets a 7, no real chance with a goal. That's what you can do if you get half an hour to watch a ball come over and stick your head on it. You can pick your spot, you can get power behind it. That guy last night could have got some sandwiches out and ate them before anyone marked him. 7 of them went to sleep at the back. 7! Summed up our performance last night. So yeah, Kepa, he made some decent saves twice that I can remember. Come off his line quick. Got out to Welbeck's feet. Yeah, could have lost it had it not been for his contribution last night. Kepa gets a 7. Aspie last night gets a 6. Quite poor by his own standards. Started crossing the ball into the box when Lukaku had gone off. Prior to that, passing back, passing sideways, anything but lump a ball in the area for your big lump of a centre forward to get his head on. Defensively, got caught out a few times, although that guy is a handful, and Aspie hasn't got the pace he used to have. I don't think he'll warrant the stick he'll probably be getting. They'll probably be saying, oh, he's past his best, which he is, but still a bloody decent defender. Last night wasn't his best game though, he gets a 6. Rudiger gets a 7.5. Did what Rudiger does. got under their skin, some good defensive blocks. Not his best game in a Chelsea shirt, but he was one of the better players on show last night. The Rudiger gets a 7.5. Was marking his man at the corner, and there's not many people, the corner they scored from, and there's not many people that can say that. Thiago Silva, again from that corner, could have been one of those that got across. He's got full sight where that ball comes. Could have got across and at least blocked that Webster from having a free header. But it was any time in the game where he was asleep. The rest of the game, I thought he was sublime. He was definitely my man of the match for Chelsea, and he was my man of the match, full stop, last night. I know I think they gave it to the goal scorer, didn't they? I don't know how they worked that one out. 1 goal and 1 run. But there you go. So Thiago Silva last night, yeah, he gets an 8.5 from me. Alonso gets a 4. He was shocking. So to be fair to Alonso, Lamptey is a handful, but Alonso defensively poor. When he gets forward, he must have got forward 15, 16 times, and he put 3 balls in. Decent shot at goal, free kick at the wall. But Alonso defensively in a back 4 is poor, and I don't blame Tuchel because I know he didn't have any options, but very poor. So the midfield, we had Kante and Jorginho, and when it came out I thought, oh, that's a good midfield. Kante was well off his game and only gets a 6 from me. Don't know what was wrong with him. Don't know if he was affected by the negativity around him. There was once, to be fair to Lukaku last night, he held the ball up twice, and once he caught Kante out. Kante wasn't there to support him straight away, and when he was, it was in such a rush he gave the ball straight away again. I don't know if he watches Lukaku in training and thinks he's got the ball coming to his feet, that's never going to get trapped, and just presumes, I don't know. But Kante was well off it last night, and for that reason, because of his high standards, put a shift in, don't get me wrong, but he gets a 6 because his distribution, his passing, his decision making was shocking by his own standards last night. He gets a 6. Jorginho next to him gets a 5. The first 15-20 minutes I didn't even know he was playing, and that sums up that I only noticed him when he was giving the ball away. By his own standards, Jorginho was pretty terrible. Enough said, really. Mason Mount, who has been off form for quite a while but still puts a shift in. Still think it's a shame the hate he gets from our own supposed fans. Probably being made the scapegoat this morning, I'm not sure. Put a shift in, worked hard. He's way off form. He's not getting into the normal positions he is. When he does, he's not getting the ball. Twice last night he was, if Aspie and Ziyech had passed it sideways, it wasn't a tap in, but he would have had a chance. Run into a lot of space where he was largely ignored, like a lot of our players were. I say he gave 100%. Fell asleep at the corner that resulted in a goal. But Mason, you get a 6 because you are off form at the moment. I don't know if it's because you're tired, you've played a lot of football, I don't know, but you're off form at the moment. You get a 6. Ziyech next to him. Now Ziyech scored a great goal, played one great ball about 45 yards straight to, I think it was Alonso's feet, that looked impressive, and the rest of the game you were shocking. So for that reason, because you scored and because of that ball, you're going to get a 5 from me. Otherwise it was going to be a 2, but you get a 5. You didn't, lack of celebration after a goal, general body language, disinterest. No wonder Morocco aren't picking you, and you're lucky I'm not Chelsea manager. because you're in a privileged position. You should be playing for the fans. And if your body language and attitudes that we can see is anything to go by, I'm glad you're not a porn star. Because you just go on there with a limpy and last about 2 seconds before you did the business. Shocking. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Oh my God, where do I begin? I saw people yesterday saying, I hope Callum Hudson-Odoi starts, and I was thinking, why? Based on a bit of YouTube footage when you were 17. Because Callum Hudson-Odoi does do the odd brilliant thing. He does sometimes score a great goal. But it's about 1 in 10. The rest of the time the team are carrying him, even when they're playing well. Defensively, you might as well have me on there. I hope he's better in the sack than he is on a football pitch, because otherwise that blonde who he had over during the COVID lockdown, she's been fined £100. I bet she's gutted. Sorry Callum, you're getting a 4 from me, and you're lucky to be getting a 4. You're lucky to be getting 4. Awful, awful. Again. You don't bring anything to the table to it. I'll tell you what, if Bayern Munich offer 30 million for him again, I'd snap their hand off. I'd give it. I'd drive him to the airport there and then. Absolutely pony. Yes, you've got ability. I keep saying what ability you've got, but it's not on show often enough. I keep saying you're a young man, you'll get better, but you're getting the minutes and nothing's improving. You used to, when you first come into the side, you used to drive forward, used to be positive. Do you know the amount of times you get into a position where you can cross and you play it backwards? You had me shouting at the telly last night, I'll be honest. So well done, Callum. And Lukaku doesn't get the service, I'll admit that. First 20 minutes he was running into spaces. I don't know if the team deliberately, some members of that team deliberately aren't passing to him because they're fed up with him, they fell out with him, they didn't like that interview, I don't know, but he was running into space first 20 minutes and then he stopped. Hold up play was a bit better last night. He managed to trap the ball twice, which I think for 100 million quid, brilliant. The rest of the time he looked disinterested. Didn't run and take players with him. Lukaku gets a 4 from me last night. So, I'm not going to score the subs, but all I will say is, well, I don't need to because I'm going to score Thomas Tuchel. Last night, Thomas Tuchel gets a 5 from me. I love Thomas. All these fans saying, Thomas out, you actually need shooting. You really, really do. I say, let him sort that dressing room out once and for all, because I think he is the man to do it. I'd stick by him. Do you know, even if we didn't make top 4, I'd stick by him. I know Chelsea won't as a club, but I would. Because I think he will actually sort them out. And that's what they need, that dressing room. I'm sure we've got some real divas in there, but I think he's the man. But last night, do you know what got me last night? The fact that you had Ziyech, not Alonso, I know that's a problem in itself. What got me last night was he waited really till the 80th minute to change the forwards. Ziyech shouldn't have been on a football pitch up the park last night. Go on Ziyech, go and play on the swings. Lukaku, you go with him. Don't go on the seesaw with Ziyech though. You'll have him flying into orbit, which actually might not be a bad idea to be fair. But Tuchel, I know the problems that he's facing. He has got a tired group. he has had to put up with some really bad injuries. But last night, 80th minute, doing something about that. I don't know if that was a message to the board. Maybe it was. Maybe it was one of them Conte moments. But Havertz certainly should have been on earlier. Werner made more runs, not that it matters because he'd probably missed in front of the goal, but he made more runs in the 10 minutes that he was on than Lukaku made all game. So that's me. That's not depress you. Nothing will. But I say, let Tuchel get on with it. I'm sure he'll sort it out. I really am. I think we've got a gem of a manager there. And another couple of transfer windows. When he's got the team that he's put together, then we can really start to judge him. Let's not forget, this is the same team that stuffed Juventus 4-0. It's the same team we know can really, practically European champions. That's the same team practically, with a couple of injuries. So let's get them boys back. Let's support Thomas Tuchel. Let's support the team when they're out on that pitch. But I think we're entitled to our opinions. I'm going to get slated for being negative, I know I am, but it's just the way I see it. I'm sorry, folks. I love the club. I love that team when they're on the pitch. But last night and a few performances lately just aren't good enough. Tuchel needs to sort it out, and he needs to sort it out now. Okay, folks, sorry to be negative. I hope this is not the first one of mine that you've seen, but thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm normally a bit more positive than this. And yeah, what can I say? Tottenham, spuds on Sunday. Let's hope we're an awful lot better. I'm sure we will be. Up to Chelsea.